I just try to keep it as simple as possible for you girls and make sure that you still get everything done and you still plan beautiful days, but that you're not like super stressed out. Hey bridal beauties, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, congratulations on your engagement. I'm Kyle James and I used to be a wedding planner, and now I make awesome wedding planning videos for YouTube. We are going to talk more about the wedding planning timeline. Today we're going to focus on the 7 to 9 months out piece. 7 to 9 months out is when you get a lot done. You need to get a lot done in these couple months. So if you do finish that 10 to 12 month checklist early, like you started planning maybe 18 months before, or you just get it done quicker, jump right into this 7 to 9 months chunk because there's a lot to do here. But the nice thing is, once you get through these 2 months and get this all done, then like the majority of your wedding is planned. If you have not seen my 10 to 12 months out video yet, I will be sure to link that below. And I'll also put a link below to my free wedding checklist download that walks you through each of these specific time periods and what you need to have done. So be sure that you grab that, be sure that you watch the 10 to 12 month out video, and make sure that you have all that done before you dive into this. All right, 7 to 9 months out, let's jump into exactly what you need to start doing. Number 1 is guest list. We need to start compiling our guest list and then adding email addresses, addresses, and phone numbers as soon as you have a finalized guest list. I have an entire video on how to put together your guest list and who you should invite and who you shouldn't. I will link that below. But just a quick overview on that, you just want to do a rough draft first that's just names, and then see kind of where you end up numbers wise, and then cut people or add people as you need to before you start collecting email addresses and phone numbers and addresses and all that stuff. It will just save you some time. The next big thing we're going to get checked off of our list in this time period is book your caterer, your bar, and your rentals. I do not have a video on this yet, but I will very soon. I will get that out for you as soon as I can because this is such a huge piece that needs done, so I'll definitely put something together to walk you ladies through that. But the first thing you're going to do here is you're going to check with your venue that you should already have booked and make sure that they don't have any restrictions and see who they prefer that you work with. So they might have in-house catering and you don't need to go find your own caterer, but if they don't, they'll usually have a preferred list of caterers. And I definitely recommend using those caterers because they'll know the venue and they'll kind of know what they're doing there and be used to working there. So it makes things a little bit easier. But if you do need to go outside of that and find your own caterer, you can do that as well. Just be sure you're double checking your venue contract before you start meeting with caterers and stuff so that you don't waste your time if there are specific caterers that you can work with. And I would book your caterer first, and then your bar will usually be done either through the venue or you can work with the catering company. Sometimes neither will do it, or you can choose your own. But if you can have either your venue or your caterer do the bar, that's one less vendor that you have to work with and coordinate, so it can make things a little bit easier. And then once you have those two booked, then I would do your rentals. You'll definitely want to work closely with your caterer on the rental company. Usually they have somebody that they already use, and that just makes it super easy if you just go with the person that the catering company uses, because then your catering coordinator can work with your rentals person and you'll know exactly what you need, and it's a little bit less stressful because they already know what they're doing and they'll know what you need based on the menu that you pick. The next big piece we're going to get done here is booking your photographer and your videographer. I don't have a video on this yet either, but coming very soon. Be sure that you're subscribed so that that pops up as soon as I post it. But if you have a photography budget of less than like $4,000 or $5,000, I recommend just hiring the photographer and forget about the videographer. I always say you don't want to like have crappy photos and crappy video because you have a low budget but you want both. I would definitely opt for a really great photographer and then leave out the videographer if your budget does not fit both in there. Like I said, you probably want to be around $4,000 to $5,000 if you're going to hire both. Next, you're going to order and send out your save the dates. So in my 10 to 12 month video, you should have already done your engagement photo shoot. So if you are going to include those photos on there, hopefully you have them back so that you can get those save the dates sent out. There are tons of amazing websites to do this. I recommend using the website that you plan on using for your invitations, just so that you can kind of test drive them a little bit and see how the product turns out before you go for the full-blown invitations. And also a lot of them have like matching sets of save the dates, invitations, and thank you cards and everything. So you probably will want to use the same website or the same person for all of those. And then once you have that done, and I would wait until you see the save the dates first, the next piece is to order your invitations. You usually send your invitations out about 6 to 8 weeks before the wedding, but I do recommend ordering them as early as possible so that you can make changes if you need to, or if you need to find a different company or whatever, you have plenty of time to get the invitation perfect. It's really nice to have that little bit of extra time to order a proof that they send you in person before you order a whole bunch of invitations. The next thing we're going to get done is we are going to pick our bridesmaids dresses and have the girls submit their orders. It's really important that as soon as you have the dress or dresses chosen, that you stay on your girls and make sure they get it ordered, because usually bridesmaids dresses need alterations and stuff like that, and sometimes if they'll need a few iterations. So you want to make sure that the girls have plenty of time to get their dresses, and just in case if they like hate it or something, they have time to order another one. This is not something you want to let them leave to the last minute. The next thing we're going to get done is we are going to select our wedding officiant. If you have a friend or family member who will be doing this for you, be sure that they are getting ordained and getting that stuff done now so that you don't have to worry about it leading up to the wedding. If you are choosing somebody who just kind of does this professionally, you'll probably want to sit down with about 3 different people and interview them and get to know them to find the perfect one. We're also going to book our glam squad, our hair and makeup team. It's nice to get that out of the way because then you can get your trials scheduled and stuff like that. The earlier you get this done, the more time you have for trials, just in case you need a few trials to get it right. We're also going to finalize our catering menu and our bar menu with our catering and bar coordinators. This will probably be more towards the 7-month, towards the middle to the end of this little time period. You'll go in and you'll have your tastings and you'll pick everything that you like so that you can get this finalized and locked in. And then once you have the menus selected, then you can place your rentals order. Usually you'll work with both your catering coordinator and a rentals person to get this done. Your catering coordinator should know what they have on hand and what they bring versus what you need to get from the rental company. And then you might also want to get things like heaters or air conditioners if you need it. Check with your venue, make sure they have tables and chairs. You might need to get these as well. So you might have your venue person involved in this process as well, letting you know what all you need to rent for the venue, just so that you don't miss anything. There's lots of things to think about here. Maybe you want some lounge furniture or something special for your cocktail hour, stuff like that. Just make sure that your venue coordinator and your catering coordinator are all involved in this process so that they can make sure that you have everything that you need. Next, we are going to book our baker. So if you are going to hire a baker to do your wedding cake, you'll want to get this done. And then you might also want to have them do other desserts as well. We're also going to book our florist. I will be getting a video out on this as soon as I can. This part, there's a lot of choices to be made, and it's really important. You'll need to decide if you're gonna do your flowers yourself and order them from like an online company, or if you're going to hire a full service florist to do this, or a mixture of both. Like I said, I will get a video out on that as soon as I can, so keep an eye out for that. We're also going to book our entertainment, so your DJ and or your band. You can do this one more towards the 7-month range. Try to get the other stuff done first, unless there is a specific DJ or a band that you know that you want. Then you might want to get it done earlier. If this is like a super important piece to you, then you might want to get it done towards the beginning of this, like more towards 9 months out. But if it's not like extremely vital or you don't already have someone picked out, then you can go ahead and do the other stuff first and then get this done. Pretty much with all of this stuff, I would work on the pieces that are extremely important to you first so that you can be sure that you get that locked in, and you can also be sure that you have budget to work with if you do need to pull from other areas. And then one more little to do here is make sure that if you are going to go out of the country for your honeymoon, that you and your fiance have valid, unexpired passports. Now's a great time to go ahead and get your passports done if you don't have them done already. And make sure you know where they are too. Nothing worse than trying to track down a passport right before you're about to go out of the country. Especially in the midst of all the wedding craziness. So just like find your passport, make sure it's valid, make sure it's ready to go right now so that you have plenty of time if you do need to go in and get it updated, that you have time to do that. There you have it. That's everything that you need to have done by 7 months before your wedding. I highly recommend just setting in your phone a monthly reminder of like 1 month closer to the wedding date, or like 5 months out, 6 months out, 7 months out, so that you kind of know what you need to be doing. Like I said, I'll have the link to the free worksheet below so that you can download this and make sure that you're checking off all these little boxes. My checklist tends to be a lot more simple than a lot of the ones you'll find online or in books, because I feel like there's like a lot of crap that they put in there that makes you just stressed out. I just try to keep it as simple as possible for you girls and make sure that you still get everything done and you still plan beautiful days, but that you're not like super stressed out. If this video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. Be sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss any of those upcoming videos. Like I said, I have a bunch of stuff coming out on how to book your vendors, how to book your caterer, your photographer, all that fun stuff. Be sure to share it with your engaged friends, and we'll see you next time. Happy planning!